Hello, 2025, where we let go of the things that didn't work in 2024 and embrace 2025 full of a spectrum of new possibilities and new beginnings, because this is your year and this is my year too. Hi,
Oh,
Carla.
hi, Kenya.
We
Thank you
are a
for
bit
interviewing
different
me.
today, are we? Usually you are the beautiful one, just talking, interviewing all of us. And today I get the privilege to interview you with the questions that you so brilliantly set aside for us to reflect back and how we got here in this moment. And Carla is an incredible woman, an incredible being of life, light. I know that you are a mama of two big kids, teenagers, married for 20,
21.
21 years.
Yeah.
Amazing. You are a transformational queen. In my book, you are. You have lost an entire person. Do you say
Yeah.
that out loud? I'm already saying that out loud for you,
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah.
Lost over 100 pounds, 120 pounds. And the weight just reflects your transformation
Yeah.
from the way I am sitting, from the way I'm witnessing you. It reflects how much you have transformed in spirit, soul into this new body that you have right now. That makes you an incredible transformative, transformational coach, and mentor and guide. I'm so glad to have you here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kenya. Thank you for interviewing me. And thank you for everybody that is here listening to us. Yes.
Absolutely. So, what do you do? What do you do, Carla?
Oh my God. It's funny because I've asked the questions, but I never connected to what I have said. So it was awesome for me to just sit down where you were getting ready because I knew the question and right, I had nothing ready in my mind for it. So
Amazing.
what do I do? I am a lifestyle coach. I am a lifestyle coach that helps people to transform their life
Mm,
through their lifestyle. Because what it has been clear to me is that I cannot change only one area of my life. I get to change all of them. Yes, it started with one area. And I love it because in transformation leadership, right, we say how we do one thing, we do everything. And it's true. But also, when
mhm.
I shift one
So
thing, I shift all of them. No transformation is done without repercussion to other areas of my life. Truly, my change is going to express everywhere. And that's what I have been able to see, not only with me, but with the hundreds of people that I supported.
yes.
When I step into a new way of looking at things, a new possibility of how I think, then I can create a new life. I can
Correct.
create a new reality for me. But not only for me, I create a new reality for everybody around me too, because again, my shift, my change is going to impact everybody. Now, one thing that I tell all my clients, um, I can if I am expecting that my life changes in the outside, you know, yeah, that's not going to happen. And if it happens, that change or that shift, I'm going to keep fighting for it all the time
Mm,
because it's something that I keep having all the time to renew. The lasting shift or the lasting change is the one that comes through me.
mm,
When I change, everything else changes.
mm.
That's the one, that's the methodology, that's the one that works and sticks.
And we see that everywhere, don't we? Our
Mm,
family, our clients, everyone in your field sees and reflects back your change. And it's almost like you have you have planted seeds that now they can plant it too. You have spread seeds
yeah,
of possibility just because you generated that for yourself.
exactly. I become. I become the changing agent, you know,
Mm.
is that's how I see it. It's up to me. It's always up to me.
Yeah. I mean, there is the famous quote, "Be the change you want to see in the world," but
Mhm.
this is the practical change,
Yes.
bringing the frequency in. Amazing. So, what made you interested in what you currently do, and how did you get there?
Oh, what made me uh, I really think giving back. It was not, I always say you don't know how bad you have it or how bad you are or how sick you are until you get better. You know,
Mm,
when you are inside of your sickness, when you are inside of the struggle, you are living the best way that you can. You are performing the best way that you can. And when I was better through my healing journey, then I had to give it back. I couldn't hold it for only me. I realized that I had to share it. You know, I hear this thing that say there is no love until you actually give it away. You know, love is giving it away.
yes.
And I
Yes.
really think it's when I was able to receive that love through myself, because this was the key, you know, through my whole life, I
Mhm.
wanted others to love me. I wanted to be loved. But
Mhm.
what didn't land for me is that the one that was not loving it herself was me. Therefore, it didn't matter how many people around me loved me and told me how much they love me, it was never enough. Because my reflection, I was reflecting what I had inside. It was
Mhm.
the emptiness. So what I saw in them or on them was the emptiness that I felt inside. So what made me interested, it was my healing process. Before that healing process, you know, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, and
Mm.
it was so bad that I couldn't breathe. I had to stop working. um, my parents had to take care of my kids, and the way that I felt like I had the anxiety was so huge that I felt like I had a truck on top of my chest every
Mm.
moment of the day. That's how heavy it was. Imagine breathing with a truck on top of your head, your chest.
Mm.
That's how my anxiety felt. So on the other side of me is finding love for myself,
Mm.
finding a way to actually create what I wanted. Um, I mean, we met each other in a transformational leadership program, and I saw a lot of people having shifts or transformation,
Yes.
new results. And even though I have shifted a little bit, I didn't have those big results. And I was, you know, always asking myself why, what was missing for me. And
Mm.
what I saw was that there was a kind of a disconnection
Mhm.
between the knowing
Mhm.
that I knew the concept and the applying of the concept.
Mhm.
So what I learned is that I didn't know that I needed. You know, that's another thing. I didn't know that I needed this, but I accepted help when it showed up.
Wow.
So in my way, I wanted to know, oh yeah, this is exactly what I need. But what I was able to see is that I was so blind to it that I couldn't even see it. So somebody offered me an embodiment program, to be in an embodiment program, and that was for me, that was key to be able to
Wow.
say yes to that. Because what I learned is not only connecting with my body, that I was totally disconnected through shame, generational trauma, you
Yeah.
know, being a woman. I have so many stories. I mean,
Sure.
it would be super long, the interview, but it was truly when I allowed myself to learn myself to regulate.
So, Carla,
Mhm.
because this is a concept, this series came through you, I feel like this could be a little longer, if that's okay.
Okay.
Ourselves. our listeners are not going to be like, "Ooh, it was 5 minutes longer than everybody else." No, this is for you. So help us to understand, like, if I never heard about transformational programs and I'm just sitting in here listening to you and I so see myself in you. Wow, me too. I didn't know how to be in my body. I didn't know. I just knew that I had pain and I had my chest. I couldn't breathe. I felt this weight. How do you navigate, which now you know it was all the self-love that wasn't there, that
Mhm.
you were seeking outside of yourselves? What could be one thing that our listeners could look and say, "Oh, thank you for this tool. Just because of that, I can ground myself and finish 2024 with a vision, not even hope, with a vision that it can be better for me."
What really allowed me to move forward
Mhm.
was to surrender.
Surrender. Can you explain that? Because a lot of
Oh.
people say surrender as in, okay, God, here it is. And,
Um,
what,
yeah, I mean, every time that
how,
I went to
what?
the doctor, I got more medication. They were increasing the dosage of every single medication. I was at that point, I was taking medication for anxiety, depression, and chronic back pain. So I was numb all the time, all the time.
No
And
feeling.
sorry?
No feeling.
No feeling. Oh yeah, and I was numb, completely. And I remember just crying on my bed and saying to God, there is no human being that can do that. Because every single doctor that I found, it was connecting again. And I got to surrender. I got to say, I cannot do it, because I was trying to find a way to, stay afloat. And it
Yes.
was when I allowed God in that um, I started to navigate through the solutions, because I got that transformation, not only that transformational program that we were together, but before that, I got to many other
Yeah.
self-help um, instructions or programs or coach that allow me to start looking inside.
Mhm.
But I really think that for me, that breaking point was to surrender to God so I could listen to guidance. And believe me, my background, religious background, had nothing to do with that. At that moment, I was so defeated that the only option for me was to say, God, uncle, take me wherever you want
Yes.
me to be, and I will just go. And I mean, it was a long journey, I will say, but also I feel like every step was a secure one. Every step I was being taken care of
You
because I
didn't know
surrendered.
how. You didn't know how.
I had
The
no idea.
choice you made was the choice to trust God. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yes, 100%. 100%. Um, yeah, that was it. And
Mm.
you know, I am in a 12-step program for food addiction right now. And that has been part of my process too. And I'm
Yes.
saying this even because in the 12 steps, they call it higher power, right? I for because of my um religious background, I call it God.
Yeah. Because of your belief system.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But whatever it is for you that that God supports you and can allows you to move forward, that's it. I mean, it doesn't get to be named a certain way. It gets to just be called so he can come or she can come or whatever you believe can come, show up and support you because it's there waiting for you. Yeah.
Mhm. Beautiful. So the steps that I heard was to surrender, to trust, and a higher power bigger than you that you know it's there,
Mm-hmm.
and to, you actually didn't say this, but that's what I heard you saying, is to detach from the how.
Yeah, well, the beauty is that I was in such surrender that I knew I couldn't figure out the
Yeah.
how. I couldn't. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Next question is, what has been the biggest, most profound shift, transformation, and how has it changed your life?
Um,
Mm.
okay.
Pick
Yeah,
one.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
go
you
with the first one I got. Yes,
have a
yes,
million.
yes. Um, and because I have to do it every day, the ego shows up every day. The most
There we go.
profound shift that I get to do, that I've done, is to remember that I know nothing. Why?
Oof. Come on,
Um,
plus more.
through spirituality, I've done different modalities. God has taken me to different modalities so I was able to see inside of me.
Yes.
And in all of them, you learn so many amazing things, and they taste like truth, right? And you
Mhm.
hold on into them, and then you see, oh, this is it.
Mm.
And what God has revealed to me every single time is, at one point I let it go. Truth is gonna be for that moment. Truth is gonna be for when it works. Because the truth is that I am evolving every single moment.
Mm.
And it's not about this is bad or this is good. It's about whatever is in front of me at the moment. That's what is in front of me at the moment. And I get to deal with it, and I get to enjoy it too.
Mm.
And then I move on. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't work anymore. It means there is something else for me. Truth moves, evolves with me. I am in a point of my professional career where I say that I don't teach anything. I just stand in my truth in front of people so they can find theirs.
Mhm.
That's my concept of what I do. I teach what works for me, but what works for me is always evolving.
Mhm.
So I cannot say this is it. This is gonna change your life. This is, this has or this is truth. Why?
Mhm.
Because more likely in a couple of months, if it's not a year, another upgrade is gonna show up for me. I'm gonna see things in a different way, and my belief system is gonna shift a little bit. And
Beautiful.
every time that I do that, my reality, the 3D changes with me, because I become a different frequency,
Mhm.
and I invite in my field a different way of being.
A
So,
million percent.
yeah,
So what I hear you saying is the lens that the truth is the lens that you can look in the world right now. It works for you and it works in that season because it's authentic for that moment. But as soon as you keep evolving, which is the gift of this lifetime, to the invitation to upgrade, the invitation to evolve and let go of what you think you know and embrace something new.
exactly.
I also hear a lot of, you've got to be very humble, honey.
Yes, yes. And the humbling is a gift, because when you know, when you receive the gift, somehow
Mhm.
you also receive that humbling. Is like, oh, I didn't know.
But
To receive
there must be a part of you that wants to know and that thinks that you don't.
100%. That's why I think I know. I think I know what I want. I don't know if this has happened to you, Kenya, but I think I know what I want, right? And I'm fighting for it, and I'm fighting, and I'm running behind it. And then suddenly I get what I wanted. And I was, I didn't know I wanted that one. I didn't know I wanted it like this.
And it doesn't satisfy. You get what you wanted or you thought you wanted,
And
and you
exactly, that's why I'm running all the time behind it,
there
because
we
it
go.
doesn't feel like,
Oof.
it doesn't fills me up. But then when the one, like God gives you the one, right? Like, and He satisfied you, and then you're humble because you remember that what you wanted didn't satisfy you
Mhm.
at all. So that's where the humbly feeling comes, because it's like, wow, yes, I don't even know what I want, Kenya. Yes, exactly. I think I know, and I can fight. I can make a scene telling you, hey, yes, of course I know. But deep down,
I can go 1 hour in this sentence because I see the dimension. There's a part of me that's like, but wait, to be intentional,
mm-hmm,
to set your ways of beings in the morning, to welcome the alignment of what it is. You got to know what's the clarity, what's the vision, where are you going? So
yes,
tell me more.
yes, yes. But then I'm not attached to the result. I am not attached to the how. And the thing is that the way that I think in my belief system, right? The way that we think, we cannot ask for something and not be attached to how it looks. Like it is so hard for me to even imagine that. So usually I ask for something and I have an image of how it has to look like. So what I do again, and that's not the
I
problem.
totally see it. That's what you mean. So when you have a vision of this is the thing, you also have a way that it needs to show up.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
And what you are suggesting is the surrender part of it is you know the way, you know the
exactly.
thing, and you know how it shows up in my life, and I get to
Yes,
trust.
yes, yes. I mean, that doesn't mean that my ego doesn't show up and want I want to run the show too. I want the wheel of the bus so I can drive it. And I know that my will took me to the depression, the anxiety, the couldn't hold my breath moment. That was me trying to do it my way.
Not fun at all. It
No,
sounds,
oh, no, it was painful.
yeah.
So there is something in trusting your higher power into a point, your God, right? Trusting to a point where you know that you are not alone.
Mm,
Because otherwise you're a machine, like you're always thinking about how make the world run. And then suddenly when you realize you don't have to do it, you let God do it. That is freedom.
mm.
I don't have to be
So
in
what's the
that.
me part?
Sorry.
What's the me part?
The me part, definitely. Well, I always say definitely the ego. The only me that I really am is that part of me that allows God's in.
Okay.
That's the real me. The me that can actually be with God 100%. The other me wants to fight that, I want to be first. I
Mhm.
don't want to be second. The real me knows that God is the one that is leading.
Okay. So may I go deeper in
Oh.
that? What if, so you have the hierarchy of God leading. What if it's not a hierarchy? The way I see it is I'm one with God
Mm-hmm.
for years. But again, I came from a very abusive environment where there's no me, is all God.
Mm-hmm.
Me just powerless and victims, the opposite of transformation and responsibility. Honestly, the opposite of love.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to leave it that. But the way I see it today is I'm one with God.
Yes.
So every time I think about that image, I see a line and the line that there's no beginning or no end. And I'm almost tearing up when I have this vision because there's no separation. And all my pain comes from separation. All
Yes.
my human ego pain
Yes.
comes from the idea that I've got to do it because if not, I have all those stories and the hustle and even the setting up intentions that we talk about. Now,
Yes.
right? If the wrong
100%.
intentions,
Yes.
what if I don't finish and I fail or, so many
Mhm.
stories. So what would you say to that?
Exactly. It feels, it has that aftertaste that is not coming from love.
Mm,
It just tells you right there that this is not God sent. And there is a difference between, in spirituality there is a lot. Oh, I well, and this is what I wanted, right? Float man that it felt good all the time,
correct.
right? And what I've seen is what I do the hard thing for me,
Mm.
I get the reward.
Mm.
Because when I do the hard thing for me, that is most of the time is shifting the way I think. When that shift comes, I am closer to God.
Mm.
I am dropping that separation.
Mm. I
But
love that.
through the process of letting go of that, because I get to let go of what I think I know, the ego yells, screams, makes me feel the pain and the fear and all that. But on the other side, it is the freedom. I don't have to live in that pain anymore.
And you don't have to figure it out.
And I don't, it's not up, because it's not up to, and this is where it gets very interesting. It is up to me because I can only work on me. It is up to me because I can only work on me. But it's not up to me because I'm not leading the bus.
Mm.
My higher power is leading the bus all the
So
time.
it is up to you that you choose God.
Exactly. And now we're gonna go to, there is, because the trick, and this is the part where it gets very, I will say, at least for me, religious, right? Because then I get to use my free will to
To choose.
to choose God's will.
Hmm.
That's the trick. That's it.
But in any moment I hear religion, darling,
Well, that's the beauty of it, right?
I
And this
I
is
don't
why,
hear the I'm right, you're wrong, blah, 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 whatever. I hear
yes, and that's well, because of the language, right? But
right.
at the end of the day, that's the equation that ends the separation when I choose my free will to be one with God. That's
Beautiful.
when I end the separation.
Thank you for that. Stunning. So, last question.
Sure.
What is your golden nugget to help you shift, transform in your day-to-day life, and how do you do it? What does it require from you?
Um, I love this one, and this is what is here because for me, this transformational series, it was about showing up in a way where I could give this golden nugget. So for me, the golden nugget is that opportunity to shift. And I am a student of the Course of Miracles, and we spoke a little bit about this, Kenya, before
Yes.
the interview. But the Course of Miracles says that there is a impulse in me. Is I could see as a physical impulse, or I can see it as a miraculous one, right? The impulse is a trigger that is happening within me. It happens every day, and we get triggers because of trauma, but we also get triggered because my belief system is being, I feel like it's being attacked, right? And
You
usually I get a
defeated.
reaction. Yes, I get a reaction. It could be a frustration. It could be, you can feel it. You feel the taste. Is your reaction. And every single one of them is an invitation for a miracle to happen.
Mm.
And the only way that I can welcome that miracle is if I see that impulse as a miraculous one. The other one is believing my body and saying, for example, oh, Kenya just talked to me in a wrong way. And I get defensive with Kenya. And yes, that's the flavor because it's showing me, oh, there is an opportunity here to shift, to change, to transform. That's what it's telling me, right? It's showing up in my body. But then I get to kind of help it navigate because it comes from my body, from my physical being. And then I take it to the spiritual realm.
Yes.
And then I said, I can create a miracle with this.
Mm.
And I can do this many times during the day, right?
Mm.
Because I can take it, I put it in front of me, and I give it to God. And I said, allow me to see this differently. And I want you to see that I don't tell God how he has to change it. I don't tell him, oh, you have to show me love, or you have, no, 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 no. I ask,
Mm.
allow me to see this differently. Why? Because he will, if I allow him usually when I do this, I'm telling him, take all my belief system and do whatever you want with it. Shift it in a way that I
Scramble.
shift. Exactly. I don't know what he gets to touch. I don't know what he gets to change. I'm just telling you, whatever is showing up here, change it, shift it. I am willing to give you that power right now. Why? Because God cannot change what I cannot give him.
Mm.
He cannot change it. If I say, don't touch me, he's not going to touch me. That's my gift. He gave it to me. So I get to allow him in so he can change me, he can shift me. So allow me to see this differently. And I've seen amazing things happening super
Mm.
fast. Of course, I've been doing this for a while, but you start allowing him to shift your way of thinking, and you will see the miracles happen.
So I'm taking this golden nugget personal because I
Mm-hmm.
love that. That sentence has shifted a lot in my life, and I want to highlight in yellow for all our listeners. You can use that in anything. Allow me to see this different. God, show me a different perspective. How would you get to the peaches from where I am to where the peaches are? What's happening? Because 10 times out of 10, I'm speaking personally, even for me to say that prayer out loud or inside of my brain is because the ego was giving me one perspective, and the perspective is that I'm right and you're wrong.
Yes.
And the perspective is that I've studied and I read all the books and I know all the things, so I have evidence. And you bring all those evidence from the past, but in the moment that I say, God, allow me to see this different, you got triggered because of the kids, the dog, the husband, the work, the traffic, something else shows up. That is a powerful tool. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, yes. And is an easy one. You know what is required of me? To surrender.
Mhm.
It is required to surrender. When I surrender, I allow God. I allow my higher power to do the job. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Carla. And thank you for accepting the vision and going to action and putting Hello 2025 together.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for everybody that has seen all the videos. I hope you have taken something. My vision was truly to take one person. If it was one person, it was awesome, to get a new perspective into a new reality in 2025. Yes.
We're doing that. Absolutely. Well done. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And I see you in the next video. Love you.
Bye bye.